Question here. Did Cruise mislead NBC and the DMV?
I mean, that really is the sort of elephant in the room here, and the question that I think the DMV is sort of putting everyone's eyes to. And I think at this point, Raj, it's really difficult to overstate today's news. We're talking about a major regulator that has determined that a driverless car company not only has a fleet of unsafe vehicles, but it's also accusing the company of misleading state regulators and, frankly, the public about shortcomings of that driverless technology that impact the car's ability to really protect those on the road. And as you mentioned, this all stems from that October 2nd accident. And the video that Cruise showed us really substantiated much of what Cruise told the public at the time, that it was the fault of another hit-and-run driver. However, the DMV now saying that that video doesn't really tell the whole story, and in fact left out a considerable and notable chunk that the driverless car, even after coming to a complete stop, then continued essentially dragging the woman who was trapped underneath the vehicle for about 20 feet.
Yeah, it's amazing that we're talking about this, that you, us, NBC, and the DMV got this partial clip. What does the suspension mean? Does Cruise have to get its cars off the roads now? We mentioned they can be humans behind it, but does that do them any good?
So, up until today, Cruise was operating about 200 driverless cars on any given day. You had 50 during business hours and about 150 in the evening hours. So effective immediately, Cruise was told that it needs to take all of its driverless cars off the road in the state of California. So what does that mean for Cruise? Well, Cruise is allowed to continue testing the vehicles with a safety driver behind the wheel. That's someone who could override the vehicle if there is a need. And just applying it to what unfortunately happened back on October 2nd, Raj, the argument essentially that DMV is making is that it feels confident enough to keep the testing vehicles on the road so long as someone is able to step in. The argument, if you sort of read between the lines, essentially saying that had there been a safety driver in that car when that accident happened, a human would have realized pulling over is not a good idea because the pedestrian is trapped underneath the car. So let me just leave the car exactly where it is.
Yeah, Bigad, you've been in these Cruise cars, the driverless cars. You've had some issues with them as well in one of your previous stories. You have a direct line with Cruise and their representatives. What's their response to all of this? What just happened today?
So listen, one of our main questions was, what is your response to the DMV's accusation that you misrepresented what happened and that you didn't initially give them the full clip? So a spokesperson tells us that Cruise initially wanted to get the information out as quickly as possible so that it could allow authorities to have the information it needed to be able to try to essentially catch the person who was involved in that hit and run. Obviously, as you might imagine, the critics, particularly on social media, aren't buying that. They're saying whether you wanted to release the information quickly or not, there wasn't a great reason on why you would conveniently clip the very end of what happened that shows one of your vehicles dragging a pedestrian some 20 feet. So as you might imagine, that's one of the main contentions that the DMV has. Not only that the vehicle didn't know to stop and continue stopping, but it was that this allegation that Cruise essentially tried to misrepresent what happened, not only to state investigators, but to the media, to the public.
Final question really quick. What now? Is this a 2-week suspension, a 2-month suspension? When could Cruise get back on the road without humans?
So the suspension is indefinite. There is no timeline on what Cruise has to do to be able to get its cars back on the road. The DMV only saying that the suspension will stay in effect, Raj, until Cruise is able to prove that it has remedied everything the DMV has pointed out, that at this point is leaving state investigators with the impression that Cruise's driverless vehicles are not safe.
It's going to keep you
Cruise at this point hasn't said just when they expect to make those changes. They do have 5 days to appeal the process. That's essentially if Cruise feels like this is coming out of nowhere and they don't agree with the decision at all. That's unlikely to happen. The more likely scenario is that Cruise is going to outline some kinds of changes within the company, within its fleet of vehicles, Raj, to be able to prove to state regulators that, hey, our vehicles are safe and they deserve to be back on the road. Important to note that while California is now saying that these cars are unsafe, Cruise still has driverless vehicles in other states. So I think it remains to be seen what regulators in other states may do as a result of what's happening here in California.
It's going to keep you busy because you are leading our coverage on these driverless technology. Thank you. Bigad Shaban reporting on this.